Good afternoon, guys. Thank you for hanging here. Been so long. I guess everybody has having a long day. My name is Sonny. I am the CMO of Titan Network. For now, I would like to introduce our project. Our main core is to accelerating the arrival of the era of decentralized distributed storage. So as we all know, Filecoin has become one of the largest decentralization storage. It becomes so big that they are trying to achieve three milestones. First one is to build the largest decentralized storage network. And second one is to onboarding and safeguarding humanity's data as much as possibly can. And third one is to bring the computation to the data and enabling the web scale apps and DApps. I believe the Filecoin has already accomplished the first goal, which is to build one of the largest storage network. However, due to the size of the net, there's a couple of challenges. Right, one of it is the usability issue. So what it means is people can store their data, but when they try to use it, or when actual business try to use it, it's not very, how do I say it, like usable for certain scenarios. And the second one, as we all know, is accessibility. People having a hard time to uploading and downloading their data. And third one, is just due to the POW mechanism, we have kind of relatively slow TPS. Due to such challenges, Titan Networks had came up with a solution. And matter of fact, we already have two usable products, right, to solve this problem. And by how? By aggregating the idling widthband of a network to implementing the shortcome from Filecoin ecosystem. This is our core value, right? Besides accelerating the true decentralization of the distributed storage, and we also want to enhance the usability and promoting more adoption, which we are trying to strive in the business scenarios. How do we do that? By relatively, I'll put in the short term into four simple steps. First one, we try to make the UI and interface very understandable, very easy. So the business owners or users, they don't have to acquire professional trained experience to use this tool. And second, we simplify the data interchange and make it more accessible and easier to retrieve the data. And the third one, we actually increase the cost efficiency. So the same amount of cost that in Titan Network, and the users and business can get so much more compared to other products or networks. And the last one is, if you're a professional SP, you must know that user experience is very important. So we try to make it so simple as OSS. This is one of the product that we're having, right? We took a snapshot, and within this Titan storage, we have three main product value. One is the perpetual storage and global acceleration as a long-term data preservation with a perpetual storage. So the users can choose how long or where they can store their data, right? Because the nodes are decentralized and in different regions. And the second one, we really put a lot of work in privacy and security just to make sure not only the Web3 users, but the Web2 users can remain anonymous. And third one, we have very excellent, very outstanding compatibility. So our tool is fully compatible with the AWS S3 interface. This is the next generation. So in these pictures, you can see on the left, the users can see where the nodes are, right, and where you store your data, and what's the speed. And on the right one, you can see the current status of your data and storage. So as we all know, Filecoin has already made such huge indent for decentralization of data storage. And what they are trying to do is they try to bring the computation into the data layer, right? And this is what we try to do as well, right? We want to implement the computation to simplify certain procedures when people try to access certain data, right? And this is our basic service architecture. We have the storage, bandwidth, and computing. So for the CDN, we actually make it very decentralized. And why I mention this, because by only having the storage, the decentralized storage is just not enough, right? And Titan Networks has come up with another product and is under development. It's called a Titan container, and this product comes with the computation. So I want to show you guys, this is our work, and we have already done the development process. And right now, we're just finishing the front-end UI, and we're expecting to launch this product on mid-October. So we also want to infuse IPC into our Titan network. So Filecoin is a multi-chain application bridge. What we have done for this year, we already deployed and run the IPC in our Titan subnet, and we tested with the TPS. And also, we have done multiple tests with our current case studies. We have organized the IPC-related materials, and in both Chinese and English version. So what we try to do is we actually want to work with our partners and to see the feedback of IPC, right? So we really pay attention for this IPC project. Why? Because we want to learn how the users are actually gonna react to the product, right? And what we try to do is we try to deploy the real business-related contracts on IPC, and also when they upload and download their data, we want to see is there any errors or bugs, and also for the VPS containers, resources purchases, and we just make sure if there's other records that we should keep in track. So by doing this, implementing the IPC into our subnet, we can accelerate the Web3 and Web2's applications. So eventually, we try to bring these businesses into Filecoin ecosystem, and hopefully, we will make this ecosystem more abundant. And we do have the capacity to support pretty much all the projects within the Filecoin ecosystem. And what we try to do is we try to offer them free or even low cost, but even free, just to make sure every project they can have an actual copy of the data. And this is actually what we're doing right now. So this is a roadmap, and we already finished the decentralization of CDN applications and with API and SDK design. So by the Q4 and 2024 Q1, we try to launch the Titan VPS and the S3 storage solutions. And by 2024, we try to improve the security even better and integrating with a layer 2 expansion. And please follow us on our social medias. And if you do want to check out the product, this is a barcode for the demo. Thank you, guys. I'll return this page.
Does anyone have questions? I have one for starters. So I was really intrigued by this diagrams that you had with storage, compute, and network bandwidth, like three components of Titan network. But I really wonder, what are the use cases? Like, what is example of applications that can take advantage of those? Is it a replacement of like a traditional cloud architecture? So can I deploy application in, I don't know, written in Python, in computing, and make it serve requests from front end? Or is it something more specialized?
Right. So in this phrase, we're not trying to go in depth with the technical, right? But most importantly, we try to bring more actual business, like what Huang just mentioned yesterday, we want to have true proof of work, right? Instead of just there's so many people try to fake their data, and by now we believe just by bringing massive of the apps and with their copy of data onto Titan network, so we can just accumulate these portfolios. That's just our current phrase.
Yeah, but what type of the apps? Like I'm just curious. What is the what type of the customers would be interested in using Titan?
Right, I believe like for this type of customer, they have a good number of community, right? They need to make sure the data of their community is fully backed. So I would say the NFTs are the good projects, and also the GameFis, because they have a huge traffic.
Okay. What if let's say somebody is building a game, like how can they take advantage of the computing part of Titan Network? Would it be like a batch computing jobs, or is it like can they put the game engine inside this computing part of the stack?
That's a good question. Thank you for mentioning it. So in gaming, one of the biggest concern for not only the users but from the business end is people try to alter the result, right? So we try to bring the computation into security and to constantly monitoring every nodes running in a spectrum that we expect them to do. And if we do see there's an error or there's the data or algorithm is not this match, and we will get a penalty for the person who provide this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, I saw you mention IPC subnets, right? I'm just curious, probably you just mentioned it briefly, but in what aspect are you interested in the IPC? In what kind of services are you trying to integrate with IPC, or looking at storage, or it's the TPS that you care about? I think you also conducted tests, right? So is there any way to be more specific, like what areas are you looking for in IPC?
Yes, thank you for mentioning it. Right now, there's one main problem that we try to solve is the TPS problem, which is because it's just way too slow for actual user cases. So we try to solve that, and we want to build a successful case studies and to just put out the market, become more persuasive to the businesses.
Sorry, just curious, like a little bit deeper, like because TPS is relative, right? Some business requires slower TPS, some require faster. So like what kind of like services are you looking at, like to require fast? Is it DeFi or is other?
Yeah, this is our technical support.
我们关注 IPC 的原因是因为我们这边有很多的商业化的客户，然后这些客户呢，他现在目前在其他的链上面运行，他们可能在 BSC， 也可能在以太坊或者在 Solana 这样的一些网络，然后他们做的项目呢有 DeFi， 有去中心化的交易所。那现在 Filecoin 的生态大家也相对比较清楚。那我们想让 Filecoin 的生态更加的繁荣，我们就需要把这些应用能够接入到 File 的生态里面来。所以我们最关注、最对 IPC 感兴趣的就是怎么样有一个更好、更高的一个 TPS。然后 TPS， 我们的这些商业的客户他告诉我，他们的需求是只要 TPS 达到2000左右，就可以能够满足他们的应用正常的去运转和使用。这个大概 TPS 是 BSC 的一个等级，所以我们也在这个之前用那个 Lutos 0.5.0 的那个版本去测了 IPC 的 TPS， 大概可能是300-400，但今天有看到就是出了一个新的版本，这个我们回去会再进行测试。然后如果说真的能够达到说5000的一个 TPS， 这个对于我们来说是非常有帮助的。我们会在今年年底的时候，那个 IPC 上主网之后，会作为第一个子网 去接入进去，因为我们已经写了一些相关业务的智能合约，然后也去做了一些测试。就是前面提到的关于计算的部分，用户去购买容器，然后他怎么去支付，怎么去购买，然后这个 VPS 的配置是什么，然后他要用多久，什么时候到期等等相关的这些数据，我们是通过智能合约实现的。